There are so few Jedi left. She's coming.
Our enemies are multiplying. The galaxy is not safe. I could use the help.
It's now or never. Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Hunt them down.
This is where it gets interesting.
Get ready. Ready.
Ready.
Always two there are. No more, no less. A master and an apprentice.
Be mindful of the living force, young Padawan.
You will be tempted by the dark side of the Force.
One must destroy in order to create.
Master. It's been a while. Things have changed. Sometimes we have to do what's right.
Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi.
Buckle up.
Never be afraid. Pass on what you have learned. We are what they grow beyond. That is the true burden of all masters.
Ahsoka 2-episode premiere streaming August 23rd on Disney+.
Welcome back, everyone. There's a brand new Ahsoka trailer. There's a whole bunch of new footage, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the episodes. I'll be doing videos for all the episodes, just like all the other Star Wars Disney Plus series. They start in a couple weeks, and I'll do a giveaway during the episode videos, just like I normally do. Just starting at the beginning of the trailer footage and working our way through shot by shot, talking about Easter eggs, WTF moments, they also finally revealed something about what's going on with all these brand new characters, too. Probably one of the biggest reveals in the trailer is like a blink and you'll miss it kind of moment because you only see the back of his head, but this looks like Kanan and Hera's son, Jason, from Star Wars Rebels, just a little bit older. That's why he's so much shorter than Hera sitting in the seat. Really important reminder that he is Force sensitive and potentially training another Padawan for Ahsoka. Maybe we'll see Force Ghost Kanan or some sort of flashback scene, or somehow we'll see a live-action version of Kanan. There are a number of different ways to accomplish that, even if he's dead in present day. The first new scene is Ahsoka fighting the Sith Inquisitor Marok, while you get voiceover from Ray Stevenson's Baylan Skoll character, may he rest in peace. When Ahsoka squares off with him, getting ready to actually start their fight, we've seen versions of this scene in the other trailers, but this is a bunch of new footage from that scene. Baylan Skoll is talking to someone on comms, it sounds like, about how there's so few Jedi left, and I think that's meant to be a reference to him because he is a former Jedi. The whole idea with his character is they confirmed, and he talked about Anakin Skywalker in the previous trailers, is that he used to be a Jedi, but he survived Order 66, and since the fall of the Jedi, he's become a mercenary, and that's how he's been earning money. So he's not meant to be a Sith or anything like that, but according to Dave Filoni, that's why his lightsaber has turned orange. Like, it's not full Sith red, but obviously it's grown much darker, so I think it's more appropriate to call him a dark Jedi. They might have a better term for that during the series, like there's a whole idea of gray Jedi, even though Dave Filoni says that Ahsoka is not meant to be a gray Jedi. When he's talking to his apprentice, Shin Hati here, she has the same orange type of lightsaber, even though their hilts are very different. This is what their hilts actually look like. A lot of people were asking if she was actually using Kanan Jarrus's lightsaber hilt here. It's not his, it's just meant to be similar to his hilt. The whole idea with their characters, with Ahsoka's character, with Grogu's character, is they're all choosing their own path of the Force, forging this new path that's different from the traditional Jedi Order way. The old Jedi way, and the way they talked about it, at least canonically, is that Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy, and one of the reasons why it eventually fell, is that he was following the traditional Jedi way, trying to recreate the traditional Jedi Order. This is a big change from the Legends canon. In the Legends canon, things were a little bit different, so I think that's why some fans were disappointed when they found out what happened to Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy. Like, why would it fall? Why would he make the same mistakes as the previous Jedi? Hopefully, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau will recontextualize that the way that they do with a lot of things and make it seem way cooler than the newer movies did. That's kind of been Dave Filoni's thing in the past, taking things from the prequels and recontextualizing them with new episodes to make them seem way cooler in retrospect. Which is also probably one of the reasons why they are doing Mandoverse movies set in this part of the timeline. At least according to the official news release from Dave Filoni, the Star Wars people, the Marrok Sith Inquisitor character is a former Inquisitor. That's why they're wearing the Inquisitor armor, using the Inquisitor lightsaber. But since the events of Return of the Jedi and the fall of the Inquisitorius, they've also just become another mercenary and have been working for Morgan Elsbeth in her bid to try and bring Thrawn back to the normal part of the galaxy. So there are a bunch of different moments in the trailer, different scenes of Ahsoka fighting this Marrok character, and I know there are a lot of people asking if there's a huge twist, because why would they keep wearing the mask if it wasn't meant to be this big mystery surprise character, like, oh my god, I never believed it was this person under the mask. Maybe their name Marrok is something that they chose for themselves when they became an Inquisitor. So even if it's not going to be Ezra in surprise, like, surprise, it's been me this whole time, I'm not expecting that as much now, just because they've been working for Morgan Elsbeth, and the whole idea is that she's trying to bring Thrawn back to the galaxy, and Ezra got lost with Thrawn, so if Thrawn isn't completely back yet at the very beginning of the series, then Ezra probably wouldn't be back as well. Kind of soft confirming that the Marrok character is not Ezra. Then there's another totally different scene of Baylan Skoll on what looks like Thrawn's ship, and he's in a holo talking to what might be Thrawn, maybe Morgan Elsbeth at this point. It's hard to say what point in the series this scene is coming from, just warning them that Ahsoka is coming for them. This is what Thrawn's new ship looks like. I think he has a couple of ships like this, like as part of this mystery fleet that he found in the unknown regions. This is meant to be similar to some of the storyline from Dark Force Rising during the original Thrawn trilogy. But it seems like Morgan Elsbeth sends these HK droids and Marrok after Ahsoka to stop her from stopping them from bringing Thrawn back. Then we get some voiceover from Ahsoka talking to Sabine, trying to win her over to her, like, come help me because we have all these enemies that are popping up all over the place we have to deal with. She's talking about Thrawn, she's talking about Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll, all these different characters that are slowly massing against them, because even though Baylan Skoll is working with Thrawn and Morgan Elsbeth, technically they're not on the same side. We get that same scene of them activating what looks like the star map. Like I said, you need to be force sensitive to use the star maps, so that might be why Morgan Elsbeth starts working with Baylan Skoll. Then we see a much longer scene of Ahsoka fighting Baylan Skoll in this same area around the star map with it active. Not totally sure what Sabine Wren is doing during this scene, but it seems like it's still on Lothal. She has a custom speeder bike that she's repainted herself in her own custom art style. That's why her helmet looks different. That's why her Mandalorian helmet looks different too. Her hair's a little bit longer during this scene, so I'm assuming this is before Ahsoka comes back to get her. And they show you the E-Wing. A lot of people asking about the E-Wing because it's like a Legends thing that they've slowly brought back into the canon a couple times. The E-Wing is a super deep cut. It actually debuted during Star Wars Dark Empire graphic novel, which is one of my favorite classic EU Star Wars stories. I remember seeing this in the 90s and just thinking it was the coolest thing ever, because that was during an era when there were no Star Wars prequels yet. We didn't know they were going to do the prequels. This came during the 90s, around the same time the original Thrawn trilogy came, so for people around that period that didn't know that there would be prequels and more movies eventually, this stuff sort of was like the sequel trilogy for us. The other thing too is the R2 unit inside the E-Wing is also based on the original prototype for the R2 toy way back in the day. Dave Filoni is known for doing stuff like this, like pulling super deep cuts out of the canon to do stuff like this, little cool Easter eggs. We get that line from Hera again, once a rebel, always a rebel, which is a Star Wars Rebels reference because they're doing all these Star Wars Rebels characters in live action now, just like we saw Zeb during The Mandalorian Season 3. He'll probably be back during Ahsoka at some point too. Baylan Skoll ordering Marrok the Inquisitor and his apprentice Shin Hati, the other HK droids, to go after Ahsoka and everyone else. Then they have a much longer fight in that forested area, that same area where he's telling them to go after them. We get a brand new line from David Tennant's Jedi droid where he says, "This is where it gets interesting," which reminds me of the Anakin Skywalker line, "This is where the fun begins." I just think it's meant to be light Easter eggs and things for Anakin showing up, but obviously David Tennant's Jedi droid is a huge Easter egg for the Clone Wars episodes.
I suggest you listen and learn until you think of a question this droid cannot answer.
We don't know a lot about what was going on with his character during this part of the timeline, so it'll be interesting to see at what point he started flying with Ahsoka. Then when they have the montage of all the different characters saying that they're ready in completely different scenes just cut together, we finally get Chopper saying that he's ready too. I don't think we actually heard Chopper say anything in the previous trailers. My guess is that most of the footage is from those first couple of episodes, like before the first half of the season. Usually they do that, like sometimes they'll show you footage from like really late in the episodes, but usually the promos right before things premiere are just the first couple of episodes. For those of you wanting longer episodes from all these Disney Plus series, like the Marvel Disney Plus series, the Star Wars Disney Plus series, the first 2 episodes that they're dropping together are meant to be a little over an hour and a half together. My guess is that during those episodes, they'll reintroduce everybody to Ahsoka and what she's been doing since the last time we saw her on The Mandalorian and catch things up with the ending of Star Wars Rebels and that time jump to after Return of the Jedi. Sort of like an introduction to the characters for people who did not watch Star Wars Rebels or the Clone Wars or aren't familiar with Ahsoka's character, like just saw her during the Mandalorian cameos. If you didn't watch all those animated series, you don't absolutely have to watch all the Star Wars Rebels episodes to understand what's going on. They'll give you like a quick tutorial in these first couple of episodes about all the characters, but it will enhance your enjoyment just so that you understand some of the relationships between the characters. There's a bunch of big stuff happening in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get more Loki Season 2 trailers while Ahsoka episodes are happening, so make sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that. My Ahsoka episodes will post every Wednesday, just like normal Disney Plus series. The big reminder, though, is that the Loki Season 2 episodes are moving to Friday, which is what they used to be, so if you remember the way that Disney Plus episodes used to work, they're actually just going back to that for Loki. There was a bunch of brand new Fantastic Four movie news, so I'll do a video for that as soon as possible. Everyone click here for my brand new Loki Season 2 trailer video, and click here for all my Ahsoka trailer videos and Easter eggs. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.